Welcome, folks, to Muck on the Markets. It's a full day today. Um, I just got done with Brazil 61, and I encourage anybody who trades FX and who knows who Brazil 61 is to check that video out. It's very worthwhile and great insights from Chris Bear. He's a marvelous guy and extremely insightful trader. But now I have the Muck Man, who is just back from the gym, who apparently saved his ass today. Muck, tell us about it.
Yeah, it's one of like, how do I explain it? Heaven and hell was had today in my office.
Well, Muck, if you don't mind, let's back up to last night, because futures opened 5 o'clock my time, 6 o'clock Eastern time, and what, 3 o'clock your time?
Yeah, about that.
And it was tumultuous, correct?
Yeah, looking at being down somewhere around six figures.
Whew.
I've handled big trades.
Park.
I've handled big trades in my life, and I've handled a lot of pressure. I'm not gonna lie. Right when Europe opened, and it kind of went flat. Like, it didn't really sell off like I thought it was gonna do, and it kind of went flat. I kind of had this feeling that when we open here in the U.S., it's gonna be really bad. And for the first time in my life, I ran to the bathroom, and I threw up. Was just throwing up.
Wait a second. Is this bullshit talk, or is this real talk?
No, this is real life.
So did you stay up all night long? Because I went to bed. I went to bed by 10.
I took a nap between somewhere around like midnight to like 1:30ish was my little nap. And I woke up and just like when you have that moment of clarity when you're throwing up in a toilet about this shitstorm that's about to hit your face. Like when you hit on the wrong guy's girl, and like he turns out to be Chuck Liddell, and you realize that like now you're in for it. That's kind of where I was about 3:35 to 4 o'clock this morning.
Why do I keep hearing R2D2 in the background?
Sorry, my phone. That's my every time I get a message on my phone, that's the sound. Sorry, people are texting me.
So apparently they know you're on the infamous BTFDtv. Anyway, thanks for joining us. Sunday night was interesting. China cratered, as did most of Europe. Sold heavily. We were down, 50 handles in the S&P at one point early on. It's Muck's show, but he's not paying attention. He's reading his text. This is more important.
Sorry, yeah, a close friend of all of ours just sent me that I should have bought more Disney puts because he knows that I'm long Disney. So that kind of hurts a little bit. Always rubbing the salt in the wounds. If for those of you who don't know, we have a private chat with a lot of people in the industry, and it's become common. I am the Gartman of that chat, where it's become commonplace to, whenever I post a trade, to fade the shit out of the Muck Bear, and it works. It works. I don't know why.
Well, and you are the Muck Bear.
Yeah. I mean, you always got to take the other half of dumb money, and I am dumb money.
All right, so let's talk about, so Sunday night opened, and it opened. It was an absolute crapshoot. The market pooped its pants. It was brown stains down the bottom, and you were long. Am I not correct?
Yep.
Heavily long.
Nah, I mean. Yes, I mean I was.
Just tell the truth, Muck, for Christ.
I was towing a good line. Don't
lie. Just tell the truth.
I was pretty well along. Like, did not have a lot of cover on anything. Because as a lot of people might have seen, I was kind of bullish on Friday, and yeah, so as what happens when you're bullish on Fridays, you tend to carry some positions, and Sunday was very, very ugly day for me.
Okay, so what did you do? Let's go through what you did. I mean, you know my positions were. I had long term put contracts on, and I was short equities, and I was long VIX. I mean, you knew that.
Yeah.
Coming into the weekend and last week too. And unfortunately, I am an idiot because I sold most of that.
Well, I don't think that's being an idiot. I think that's being smart. A lot of people might have seen that me and Raven were having a conversation on Saturday, or it might have been a DM that we had. But I told him that if I'm up 20%, 25%, 20 to 25%, I sell. I get rid of a third. If I'm up 50 to 75%, I get rid of another third. And if I hit 100 or more, I'm out. Like or at least I set the stop right back at that 50%. I mean, I want to make sure I get profit. Yeah, sometimes you do leave profit on the table, but you also, I mean, God, the worst thing in the world is to have a good return and then to let it go away and end up taking a loss on a trade. I think you should always, as you're hitting high numbers of percentages, you should be lightening that trade off. A lot of people have, I mean, a lot of guys like the pyramid, which I think is great. I think pyramiding is a way to make a lot of money, but in uncertain times, you can pyramid yourself to bankruptcy. You can pyramid yourself to out of a trade. So, I mean, I think in uncertain times, you want to lighten up.
Slow yourself the bleep down, Mark. All right, let's talk about where you were coming into the weekend, and then let's walk through step by fucking step, you cocksucker.
Where I was coming into the weekend, we were long Disney, long Facebook, very heavily long Apple, at about an average of 106 on Apple. So those were our three heavy positions. We did have a position in the ESs, and we had a position in long 10-year notes, which we were long for a little bit. And one of my computers just crapped out. Sorry.
Let's talk about your computers.
But going into Sunday, covered my loss on my ESs. Oh, there's a dog. There's the Wrigley. Took that and then essentially decided that I decided, I'm going to take what the market gives me. The market's going to sell down Apple. I knew it would sell down Apple. So I was buying. I'm just buying around 100, getting filled, and then well, a lot of what I did today was kind of luck, but also, I mean, I had a method behind my madness. Sometimes my madness does take over, but I felt buying Disney low, buying Apple low was a calculated risk, and it ended up working. We ended up flipping them out around 105 to 106, so that helped out make the day.
So wait. So let's back up then. Are you in the same position you were in essentially coming into Sunday?
Essentially yes, but the prices now are different.
Okay. That's fair enough.
I'm not going to get rid of the core positions. I like the companies that we have around. We bought more Citigroup.
Citigroup, huh?
Yeah, I know, but I like it. We bought more DuPont. I haven't flipped out any of those. I was mainly just flipping out of the Apple, the Facebook, and the Disney today, while trying to keep a core position and lowering my cost basis. About about 5 to 6 o'clock, my Twitter ended up blowing up with a lot of people making good money, flipping the spoos, scalping the spoos. So, you know, I'm not gonna poo-poo anyone's strategy. I got back into that and, you know, started doing that as hard as I could. And you know, made some really good money there. Made a lot of trades in it.
You know, just for a moment, let me call out KRS Capital, who actually put his trades on the table this morning, at least, or from very early AM on. And I watched him. He put every single trade on when he was in, when he was short, when he was in, when he was out. You know, I mean, I admire that. I like to be honest, because bullshit to Twitter bullshit.
Yeah, that's why I love KRS and that, you know, he does him and Fat Finger definitely do tell you where they're in and out of. When they're in and out of wheat, KRS is generally in and out of the spoos, in and out of the you know, in and out of notes and stuff like that, and they let you know, you know, because you know they have the ability to do that. I can kind of tell you where I'm generally at, but not there. You know, I think it was an interesting day today. Don't think a lot of young traders, especially a lot of millennials, have seen what happened today.
Well, you know, first up, no one has seen a sell-off that hasn't been in the market since, you know, 2008 or, you know, 2007. So, you know, that's quite clear. But let's go forward. What do you think happens tomorrow? Or where are you positioned? Because I got to tell you, I will admit to everybody, I am so small. I think I have one short left, and it is Visa, but that's it. And it's only because I didn't get bought out on where I wanted to be bought
out. You know, the line in the sand number that was tossed around today was 1878, and you know we didn't quite get there. As a lot of people know, I was saying that we would close above 1930, so I'm totally wrong. I mean, if we break that 1878, I think it's going to be, you know, I think we're going down and going down pretty good. But I don't really know. Like, I mean, I still have a lot of money, you know, on the sidelines, not tied up in things enough to, you know, be very nimble. And that's where I think you want to be. If we do rally, you know, 400 points or something tomorrow, then you don't want to be caught short. I don't think on days like this of like, you know, the Friday, Sunday, Monday, you want to be really long anything other than core positions that you're going to hold for, you know, 18 to 30 to 46 months, because you don't really care about those. You can always add to those and work around it. But I mean, if you're going in super short, you know, to tomorrow, I mean, I think you're really playing. I mean, you're really hoping it lands on red and doesn't land on black. Like, you're hoping that no good news comes out, nothing does anything, and that we just tank some more tomorrow. That's not really my style of playing it anymore. I'm not, you know, trying to go out there and prove that I'm a big swinging dick. I just want to make money.
Right. Well, you know, I mean, I think, you know, it strikes me that something else is going on here that we don't know. That's my sense. You know, what do I know? I have no insights. I live now in Tennessee, so I am no longer on Wall Street. I no longer have insights other than what I see in the markets. And what I see in the markets was very strange. And that is, we're selling off on Chinese data. The U.S. data hasn't changed, obviously, nor is it going to. And unless they know something about the upcoming rate change situation that I don't understand or don't know, who knows? You know.
No, I mean, I did see, that's the thing is that I I just don't. If we stay this wild, I don't see liquidity being provided. I don't think HFT is going to be providing the liquidity that they need to be for this, which could lead to giant swings to the upside or downside. But I definitely think this is more of, when I was in high school, we dealt with a thing called the .com bubble. And I definitely think this is more of a .com bubble, crash, correction, whatever you want to call it, more than it's an '08 systemic risk, everyone's effed, pull money out of banks, hide for your dear life, kind of thing. Like, I got a couple text messages about that earlier, like, grab all the cash you can from a bank. Like, no, okay, calm down. It's fine. It really is fine. This is not an '08 situation. Yes, as I said in our fantasy football group chat, is that I do think that we will find some big rogue traders and maybe some investment banks get put in bad situations because of what's gone on for like the last week. But other than that, I don't think there's a Nick Leeson out there with, 5 billion long in ESs that just got crushed.
Right.
I mean, I don't think that's happening. I could be 100% wrong, but just don't.
Then let's just quickly before we end it all here. Let's talk about like what your plan is for tomorrow, going into tonight and tomorrow.
Going into tonight, I am definitely going to watch the 10-year future and see where the yields are, and see what they want to do with that. 100% watching the ESs, see where we move it. The Dow Jones is utterly useless, so I don't really care about that anymore. And if they decide to sell off tomorrow, I'm picking up dividend names again. I think companies that pay a good dividend are the new, high yield bonds, the new safe bonds. But don't tell me that like putting my money with the US 10-year at 1.5% is anywhere near good enough. It's not good enough for me.
Well, the only thing I'll say about dividends is that you better pick the right ones. That is ones with fat balance sheets.
Yeah, well, look, let's talk about that. Let's look at Apple, Disney. Let's even look at Caterpillar and Joy Global.
ExxonMobil.
ExxonMobil, AT&T, but let's look at Caterpillar and Joy Global. Even though they're equipment makers and really big in China and the US, they still have enough. I feel they have enough.
What was the other with Joy Global?
Yeah, Cat and Joy.
Oh, Cat.
I still think there's enough money that they have to pay that dividend. 3M got crushed today, and everyone needs Scotch tape. You just look at it, like everyone needs Scotch tape. Everyone needs Procter and Gamble and Johnson & Johnson crap. You got to wash your hair.
I like P&G.
But if you look at it like that, like honestly, I would love for Fitbit. I'm wearing one right now. I got a Fitbit on. I would love for Fitbit to come under that IPO price. But if Fitbit comes under the IPO price and they knock down Johnson & Johnson 8 points, I'm buying Johnson & Johnson before I'm buying Fitbit.
Right.
Because I know I have protection. Also, if you pay a big dividend, it is harder to short that stock because you have to pay the interest on that dividend to the people that you borrow the stock from. I mean, I know that's basic, but still, it gives you kind of like a put in the stock.
Honestly, I can't disagree. I mean, you know what? I mean, I've started moving my long-term portfolio that sat like in cash from February.
Now, I have a political question for you. If this gets worse, can Obama write in a tax holiday for offshore money with a specific use for companies to buy back shares? I just imagine that Apple has 45 billion, 3M has 28 billion. All these companies pull out their savings and buy back theirs. That puts a goddamn bid in the market that you can't fade. You can't fade 45 billion.
There's a ton of money. As people may or may not know, I was a tax attorney in my former life. And I know a little bit about the tax code. I know a lot about politics. Actually, I know more about the tax code than I know about politics. But irrespective, I don't think it's practical, Muck. Politicians are absolutely frightened of the tax code. That being said, there is as people may or may not know, there are now 5-to-1 lobbyists to members of Congress that sit and work. And these are registered lobbyists. These aren't the people that are off the books, which there are about 6 times that number. So, there's this enormous economy that exists around DC that may or may not buy into that. The problem is that doesn't fit the narrative that people want to hear. And while it makes some sense, I just don't see it happening. But just my opinion.
Well, God, there's so much money overseas. If the companies brought that in and then started using that to, float even corporate bonds to buy back stock, that would put a bid on the market. If Apple starts buying back tons of stock, or 3M,
but the fact is that Apple did buy back stock with forward initiated loans based on their foreign money that was overseas, that was not based in the U.S. So it exists, but Apple basically set up the mechanism, or at least showed everybody else what the mechanism is to do such. So it can happen, but the money's got to be significant enough.
I don't know. That was just my idea. Like if we somehow put a bid in, it could change things around. But I'm just spitballing here. I don't really know about politics or anything. I'm just trying to fix a broken system.
Yeah, no, I'll just tell you this: that right now, Obama's administration is done. They have.
I also think we've learned that central planning doesn't work.
You'll get no disagreement out of me, but I'm just saying that under our political system, the way it's set up right now, is Obama is essentially done. So there was an interesting piece in Barron's this weekend about the U.S. Department of Labor trying to put in changes to IRA plans and limiting them in the ability to essentially sell like covered calls or to buy and sell options. Really is what it was about. But believe me, I have no idea what basis they have in doing such. But anyway, Muck, let's call an end to this. Thank you so much for joining us. Let's get back later in the week though, and let's touch base because I think we have a very volatile week ahead of us.
Yeah.
Thanks, Muck. Thanks everybody for joining us at BTFDtv, and way too long for me. Bye.